Hello, my name is Daniel Ross, and I am excited to show you how to easily and quickly insert a Rite into a service in Lutheran Service Builder online. Now, Rites have always been easily inserted into Lutheran Service Builder, whether Lutheran Service Builder Online or Lutheran Service Builder 2.0, but just because they were easily inserted didn't necessarily make it easy once they were inserted. Rites are little uh, parts of services almost that are infrequently used, but some rites can also be their own service. For example, holy matrimony and holy baptism, and also the litany, those are all rites, but they can also be their own separate services. So when it comes to inserting a rite into a service, it's not always clear necessarily where that specific rite went into a service. Holy baptism at the beginning, confirmation right before the prayers. So not every rite goes in the same place. And because there are different things within rites, sometimes other parts of the service are removed. Again, for example, in holy baptism, there is a confession of faith and the Lord's Prayer. Now, as a way to save time and or space, what is not uncommon and what may be done is that because there is a confession of faith, the creed later on in the service can be removed. But the Lord's Prayer traditionally is not removed if it is uh, in the celebration of the Lord's Supper later on in the service. So there's different rules and variances with rites, which sometimes make them a little hard and have caused more than one pastor to scramble to find his agenda or altar book so as to help figure out and remember where to put it in the service. So today I have a service set up here. I just picked third Sunday in Advent. I created this service just specifically for this presentation. You'll notice that that's a Saturday date because I didn't want to accidentally confuse my office manager here and have her print off the wrong information for the bulletin. So I've already picked Divine Service Setting 1 as an order of service. We're going to add a rite into Divine Service Setting 1, and we'll pick probably two of the most common rites that churches deal with, or Holy Baptism. Notice you just click Add Rite, and Holy Baptism is right there, then Add Rite. And then we'll also pick Confirmation. I know Confirmation usually only happens once a year, but it's a big thing, and it's on pastors' minds quite often because they're teaching it quite a bit. So Holy Baptism and Confirmation. So once those two are selected, you can either pick Prepare Bulletin or Prepare Presentation. I'm going to select Prepare Bulletin. And before I do that, I want to tell you something that Concordia Technology Services has recently made a feature of Lutheran Service Builder online, where services remove parts, or excuse me, where rites remove parts of a service, they have highlighted those parts within the service, and by clicking on the rite, replaces them. And so you'll see what I mean. As soon as I click on Prepare Bulletin, the first thing we see, Holy Baptism, it's this green bar right here. It says Insert Rite right there, and then below it is red with Confession of Absolution and the Hymn of Invocation, because baptism normally traditionally replaces these parts of the service. However, if we scroll on down, you will notice that the creed, because it may be omitted but is not necessarily traditionally omitted, it's more of a local custom type thing, is not read. So if you wanted to delete that, you need to remember that later on in the service. So scrolling back up here, simply clicking on Inserting Rite, and what happens is this Holy Baptism has replaced the opening hymn and the Confession and Absolution. Now, if you would like to see the contents of baptism instead of just having a header, if you just simply click on that here on the Contents button, click on that, and presto, there is the rite of baptism. And you can add a baptismal hymn very easily. You have the parts that the pastor speaks, congregation, the respondents, so whether it's a person or parents and sponsors, it has all their parts there, and then when you export this into a Word document, you can go back and easily change these names here with the actual name. Excuse me, you don't want to change those parts with the actual name. The him, her, them parts and things like that, you can change very easily. Now, remember, we also picked confirmation. Now, confirmation doesn't take anything out of a service, but where does it go in the service? Like I said, it goes right before the prayers, and so scrolling down, you'll notice right after the creed is confirmation. So even if you deleted the creed, there would confirmation be right there. And insert Rite, simply click on that. Again, the same thing, it gives you the heading there. If you wanted the whole contents, you simply click on the contents and it will give you everything right there. The nice thing about that is that you can print off or create bulletins that are maybe more for the rest of the congregation that just has the caption heading in there, and so you can save some paper that way, because there's not a whole lot that necessarily the congregation does outside of saying amen after a couple prayers, and then you can have the full Rite printed off in a couple other bulletins just for the pastor and the confirmands, or the pastor and the baptismal party up at the front of the church. So I hope you've been able to learn something here and see how Concordia Technology Services is making life even easier with Lutheran Service Builder online. And I hope you have a great day.